Hello everyone! In my last video, I showed what it was like to needle felt and travel, while also making a butterfly in the process. And that video was so much fun to make, from picking a project, packing up all my felting essentials, and creating and learning from my experience. As for this video, I'm showing the full process of making the Postman Butterfly in full detail. So welcome to the first part of this lovely felted butterfly collection. I wanted to start this collection off with a simple, easy to create butterfly, so let's start. The Postman Butterfly's main colors are a very vibrant bright red, black, and white. So to replicate it, I picked 3 bright red colors, a warm orange, and an almost peachy color to mix together. I picked out 2 whites, both being cold, but one of them has a shimmering effect to it, and 3 different dark colors, and 1 blue. For this project, I started at bordering the butterfly's wings and continued to felt into the center. So in this case, the border was black, which I mixed with 3 different colors to give it a bit of texture instead of it having one solid flat color. And this is just my preference on how to felt 2D pictures. Each shape, I like to treat it like a paint by numbers. I really like to stay in between the lines so I don't lose the rest of the pattern underneath the wool. So I felt on the lines between each shape, and this leaves a small crevice that I can later outline with the darker wool to even further the depth. And here's a little tip for this type of wool because it does tend to get a bit messy and have little hairs flying about. To fix this, I drag my felting needle at a 40-degree angle, and I just drag these stray hairs to the area I want and felt them down. And this also makes the wings look way neater with all the colors in order. I like creating things symmetrically with all my projects, not just butterflies, which is why my favorite thing about creating butterflies is their symmetry. It's really easy to just follow, and it also becomes very satisfying. So to have these butterfly wings be symmetrical, I need to keep things organized. So whatever section I do on one side, I recreate it on the other side, including all the gaps and the coloring. I put down the white wool as a bit of a filler color because I wanted to add on this lovely shimmering effect wool on top. I've never really used a wool with a shine like this before, so I wasn't sure how it would look or how it would felt down, but let me tell you, it did felt quite awfully. I'm not sure why, but it barely felted through the white wool base. Since the wool was from a kit, it probably not been even meant for felting, but hey, I made it work eventually, and it did add a nice glittery effect. I ended up liking this effect so much that I just went ahead and felted a whole ball of it in the next section of white, and it honestly looked way better than felting down a white base first. And this is what the butterfly looks like so far. I don't know if you can tell, but you can see the divots and the crevices that I took the time to make, and it really gave it some extra texture. And just to add a bit of last minute detail around the bordering of the wings, I added that light blue just for a bit of highlight and seemed like light was reflecting off of it. It was time to start adding detail into all the little crevices and outline all of the little intricate shapes. So to do this, I took thin but long wisps of black wool and twisted them tightly around each other to kind of hold its shape together by itself. And that way I can easily felt it down into each edge. This can be quite a tedious little task, but once all these little lines were added and connected, it started to actually look like a butterfly's wings. I would also like to add that there was a bunch of different references for a Postman Butterfly. Some had blue in them, some had only a tiny bit of orange, and mainly black, but the one I went with was a bit of even coloring, so I went with this one. I also added in smaller lines, you can see here, which I added because of the reference picture I was looking at. On to the more exciting part of coloring the orange sections, but first I had to make the perfect orangey red. I took a bit of the peach orange and red wool, mixed them up, and turned it into this lovely color that I called pumpkin, which I found quite fitting. I continue the same technique when filling in the center of the butterfly, and filling out each shape with the orange wool, and then felting black wool in between each of those felted shapes. The process actually becomes much faster when getting it to this point, so before I knew it, I had finished felting the wings, and they turned out really pretty. All I needed to do now was create its little bug body. I wanted it to be a bit 3D looking, so for the body I used some of my white core wool, and I used it to create a bit of dimension with a raised and bumpy looking surface. And then I covered it in black wool with a few specks of white, following my reference pictures, which made it look very realistic, and for the finishing touch, I added on the antennas. And now we have the final finished piece. I am super happy with how this turned out. I was surprisingly able to add a lot of detail, which hopefully you all can see the mixed colors up close, and with limited materials as well, which in total, I only used about 7 colors of wool. And I just want to show you guys how the back of this piece looks. It's really fluffy. You can still tell that it's a butterfly on this side, and how many times I've poked this fabric. I've gotten a few questions on what it's like to felt on this fabric. It's a really nice fabric to work on. It's structured but not too stretchy, and it's easy to felt onto and very forgiving. I'm planning to grow this butterfly collection with as many more butterflies as I can, so make sure you don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And please comment down below what butterfly you think I should make next or add to this collection. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on this piece. Is it whimsical or is it a bit too realistic to the point where it's creepy? I'd really like to know. I hope to see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.